If in order for you to be happy, everybody's got to do what you think they should do, you're never going to sustain happiness. I would love for you to be happy the rest of your life. I can't do it for you, but I can tell you how, because I'm doing it. You have to decide what's your favorite way of suffering, and then you have to make the most important decision of your life. And I never would have said this before. I would have said the most important decision in your life, I believed in the past, is who you love. Who you spend time with is who you become. I still think that's one of the most important decisions of your life. But my wife and I both agree now, the most important decision is deciding not to suffer anymore, that life is too short, and that you're gonna find joy, beautiful states in every moment, and you're committed to it even when it doesn't go your way. Even when it rains on your parade. So my invitation to you is really simple. You can get free of suffering, but in order to do it, you got to realize it's all your expectations that make you suffer.
And not only is it important for you to know it's possible for you to choose your future, but it's necessary that you work on yourself, that you develop yourself. It's necessary that you get the energy drainers out of your life, people who don't want anything. It's necessary to know that everybody won't see it, that everybody won't join you, that everybody won't have the vision. It's necessary to know that a lot of people like to complain, but they don't want to do anything about their situation, that you are an uncommon breed. You have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself. That's necessary. It's also, ladies and gentlemen, necessary that you be creative when you're working on your ideas, that you understand the importance of changing up, of readjusting your strategies. Many times we can have a great idea, but if you're not advancing it in the right way and things don't happen, you become discouraged and think the idea doesn't work. No, that's not true.
Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever, because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference.
Waste your time trying to figure everything out. There are some things you're not supposed to understand right now. We can't see the plan of God. We can't fathom how He does things. We think natural, He's supernatural. And if you're always trying to figure it out, it's going to frustrate you. Instead of using that energy trying to understand what's happening, use it to thank God that He's working. Thank Him that He's fighting your battles. Thank Him that He's making your crooked places straight. Thank Him that you're surrounded with His favor. The scripture says, God will work out His plan for your life. You don't have to work it out. You don't have to live frustrated over what's not happening, discouraged over disappointments. You're not doing life by yourself. The Creator of the universe is breathing in your direction. You keep honoring Him, and He'll open the right doors. He'll bring the right people. He'll turn negative situations around. He'll make things happen that you couldn't make happen. His plan for your life is much bigger than your own. If you're going to stay in faith, you have to learn to trust when you don't understand. After Jesus was crucified, I'm sure the disciples thought, was He really the Son of God? Did we waste our time with Him? I thought He said He would never leave us. There was a time of doubt, confusion, where it looked like Jesus abandoned them. But as time went on, they began to realize the crucifixion was a part of God's plan. Judas' betrayal was a part of the plan. The opposition, the mocking, the ridicule, it all had to happen. It was leading to redemption, to salvation. Are you frustrated because you don't understand what God is doing? Upset because that friend betrayed you? Discouraged over the contract you lost? How do you know that's not leading you to your destiny? Without the betrayal, we wouldn't have salvation. Without that situation you don't understand, you couldn't see the fullness of what God has in store.
You keep standing. You keep standing, no matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. And I'm not talking about just water. You keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. I learned that lesson from a third grade dropout who was a cook at Cal Maritime, who said, boy, you keep standing, no matter what.
Complaining, crying, whining, griping, a Bible word called murmuring. See, that'll ace your future. Spend 5 minutes complaining and you have wasted 5. And you may have begun what's known as economic cancer of the bone. Surely they will soon haul you off into a financial desert and there let you choke on the dust of your own regret. I hope I said that well, so you won't forget. It's a deadly disease. If you don't think it's bad, ask the children of Israel of Old Testament fame. Typical of us all, their story just happened to get in the book. Story says, children of Israel were slaves. God performed a series of dazzling miracles and got them out. And now they're heading for the promised land. Remember the story? Heading for the promised land. Tragedy of the story, they never got there. Reason. From day one, they started to complain. They griped about the water. They griped about the weather. They whined and cried and griped about the food. They griped about the leadership. They whined and cried because it was too far, too cold, too hot, too difficult, too miserable. I mean, they whined and cried for years. Finally, God said, I've had it, trip canceled. Or something like that. The story says they died in the desert, never got to the promised land. Which I think means 2 things. Indulge in this long enough, you get your future canceled. And I guess it also means even God himself can only take so much. Okay. Just be on the lookout of the things that can destroy all the good you start. The war is on. And this evening, tomorrow, mentally, personally, socially, economically, you got to make sure you're winning the war. And this is part of it.